Hey guys, what's going on? Jamie here. Just wanted to do an update for DripX. As you can see, we are in day 6. We're getting closer to that 8-day mark. So a lot of these 8-day miners that people have are going to start to mature. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens on that end. But they just created a new mechanic to the platform, to the protocol called Viper, which we will talk about here in a second. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit about how this can potentially be a long-term protocol that you can rely on. Not that you can rely on anything in the space, but maybe that was the wrong choice of words, but something that could be around potentially for a long time if you play your cards right. And really, if the community plays their cards right. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Of course, I want to start off by saying that I am not a financial advisor. Never take anything I say as financial advice. Nothing's guaranteed in this space. As you guys know, things can go sideways really, really quickly. So if you're going to get into anything in the crypto space, in the passive income space, any protocol, do your own research and only put in what you can afford to lose, guys. Risk capital only. Also follow me on Telegram. I will leave a link for that down below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so you'll get notified straight away whenever I do a brand new video. So take a look here at DripX. As you guys know, there's a lot of buzz going on. Ever since this launch, actually before this thing launched, there was already a lot of hype being built around it. And yeah, so far, it's been looking really good. If you look at the price of DripX right now, last 24 hours, a little bit over 25%. So again, this is it's doing what it's doing, guys. So we're gonna see what happens here as we get closer to some of these stakes, or not stakes, some of these miners coming up. But yeah, the long-term play, like again, there's a lot of different strategies that you can use, and I've never been one to say, hey, this is the strategy to do, and this is a strategy you should use, because everyone is different. Everyone has different goals. Everyone has a different way of looking at things. Everyone's in a different place financially. So what might be good for me may not be good for you, and vice versa. So again, put together your strategy of what you want to do here. But potentially the long-term play with this thing is to obviously get into these miners, right? Use BNB, get into these miners, and as you start to claim DripX, because again, these miners pay out DripX tokens. As you start to claim DripX, you want to be putting them into or you want to be staking them, right? So what happens here, again, you get into these miners, use BNB. These miners will pay out in DripX tokens, and then you take your DripX tokens and you put it into the stake for however long you want to, put it for, and then you get paid out in BNB. And that way you can take your profit in BNB, right? And BNB has been doing a great. Matter of fact, let's take a quick look at what BNB is doing right now. As we get closer and closer to the bull market. Some people say we're in a bull market now. I don't know. But as you can see here, look at Bitcoin, 60K, Ethereum, 3,300, BNB on the move, 12.5% over the last 7 days. You want to get paid out in BNB. Plus, you don't hurt the protocol when you're taking profit in BNB. Like for example, with WDrip, whenever we would get paid out in drip, obviously to lock in our profit, we would have to sell our WDrip for BNB. That always affected the price. Now, of course, there was ways to do that. That was smart. But at the end of the day, for you to lock in your profit and get BNB when you sold your WDrip, that always affected the price because you're selling the native token, right? So again, any protocol that allows you to sell the native token, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You should be able to sell whatever token you have. But if you have the opportunity to get, pull your profit in other tokens that are not native to the protocol and won't affect the protocol, or not affect, because everything, there's always going to be an effect, right? But what I'm saying is you don't have to sell the native token. So, you want to get BNB, and again, if you're of the mindset that we are headed into a bull market, and who knows what BNB is going to be, $500, $600, $700, 800. What was the all-time high for BNB? Something like 700 and change. I don't know, right? Maybe the next bull run it'll be 1,000. I don't know. So you want to get stacking, or you want to start stacking or getting paid in BNB. So that would be, kind of like a simplified, abbreviated strategy. Even though I don't like to give out strategy, do what you want to do. But that's how you can potentially make this thing a long-term play. Um, you know, get your, claim your DripX tokens from your miners, stake them, get paid out in BNB, and then you can take your BNB, you can take maybe a portion of that, throw it back in and get more miners, right? Because you always want to feed the golden goose, so to speak, right? You want to feed the beast, right? For me, when I was in OG Drip, you guys saw, and there's I still have channels up or videos up on my channel where I was putting a ton of money back in, right? We were getting paid a lot. We were putting money back in, right? We were airdropping a bunch to our team. We were pulling profit and claiming. We were also putting a lot back in, and that's how it was kind of like it was like the cycle, right? The circle of life, so to speak, right? Where we were feeding the golden goose, right? And it ran for a long time. A lot of people were doing that. This could potentially do the same. Of course, no crystal ball. We don't know what it's going to do, right? We don't even know what it's going to do after day 8, right? For the most part, that would be the long-term play. You take the BNB that you're earning, or you're getting paid out in rewards, you throw a little bit back in. Some of it you lock your profits in. There's always, because it's always a good idea to lock in profit, right? At any stage of the game, you want to be locking in profit, and that's how you kind of keep the circle going, right? Now, am I saying don't sell your DripX tokens and put everything, stake everything? Do what you need to do, because again, I'm of the belief that you should lock in profit, like I just said, at every stage of the game. So, you might want to sell some tokens. You might not. I don't know. Okay. You might want to lock in some profit and then stake the rest. Do whatever floats your boat, right? But ultimately, if you want to take, if you want to zoom out and kind of see how you can make this thing, not you, but as the community can make this thing um a long-term protocol, that's kind of how it would be, right? So let's take a look at Viper real quick. Now this isn't live yet. I believe it goes live after day 8. If we go into the Telegram, I think it goes live. Yeah, right here it says. So it says here, let's go through this, guys. What is Viper? It says here, Viper mechanics expected launch shortly after first 8-day miners end. So within the next couple of days, right? Because it's day 6 right now, day 8, 2 days from now. I don't know if we get paid on day 8 or after day 8 or on day 9, but we'll see. And then soon thereafter, the Viper mechanics will kick in, right? So it says here, you can collect your full share of your miner after 51% of your time has expired. You also collect your D rank bonus up until that exact time. 1 and 2 above will be put in a full length stake, earning you BNB rewards. 4, you will not get any D rank bonus that you would have gotten had you held on longer or until the end. 5, you will pay a fee to use the above Viper mechanics. At this time, the vote is leaning towards 0.1 BNB per miner. So there was a vote that was done. I think 700 plus people voted or something like that. I'm not even exactly sure what the outcome of that vote was. I should probably know, but I'll check that later. It says here, why TF would they add this mechanic? Well, to incentivize people to use DripX like it was meant to be. Anytime a protocol is used, guys, as it should be or as it's supposed to be used, obviously it makes the protocol run longer. Now, people are people, and a lot of times they don't use it the way it's meant to be used, right? We've seen a lot of protocols, OG Drip, uh, all these different, I, platforms. There's so many. There's been so many in the past. But people, they find a loophole, right? They find a way to kind of not game the system, but yeah, game the system, right? And they do things, right? That it's not really meant for that to be used that way. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. If they found a loophole, they found a loophole. But eventually, it causes a domino effect that sometimes these protocols, can't sustain themselves, right? So what they want to do is they want to incentivize people to use DripX protocol like it was meant to be used, right? So it says here, why wouldn't they penalize people for leaving early? Well, to incentivize people to use DripX like it was meant to be used for a small fee and a sacrifice of future D rank bonuses. You're able to create your stake and increase your percentage of ownership in half the time. This will lock up billions of DripX for the longest term possible. Again, the goal here, they want to incentivize the community to lock up their DripX, because obviously if it's locked up, can't sell it, the price won't tank, right? And again, the reward for people to do this is they get BNB. Ultimately the reward is long-term sustainability with this protocol that can probably people can eat from this platform for a long, long time. Ultimately, that would be the incentive, right? So as I said, what does this do? Duh, it curbs inflation and helps keep a healthy price chart. It also financially blesses those that use the system like it's supposed to be used, and those people are more apt to put more in, making this the absolute current uncontested king of DeFi apps on the planet. So yeah, reduces inflation, supports the price, promotes miner creation, supports staking payouts. I mean, lots of different incentives for this. Now, of course, we've seen things in the past look great on paper and not so good in application. Hopefully, this thing turns out to be a positive, a plus for the community. But again, we'll see how it works. Am I rooting for it? I'm rooting for, I'm 100% rooting for this platform. Okay, number one, because we're heavily in, but number two, it's anytime there's an opportunity for a long-term platform that people can eat from for a long time, I'm always for that. So yeah, we'll talk more about this as we get more info, right? It was just kind of released. So we'll talk more about this as we do more updates. But so far the price of DripX is looking really good. Obviously, no one has gotten paid off their miners just yet. On day 8, people will, and then we'll kind of see how it plays out. So yeah, this could potentially be a long-term protocol. You can see here the percentages are wild, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens here. But so far, looks like everything is super bullish. I'm certainly excited for this. Um, we're hoping, right, that this can be a long-term play for a lot of folks. Because, let's face it, in this space, especially over the last 6 months or so, there's been a lot of platforms that have gone sideways, gone belly up, and people are dying for something to really work long term. Now, if it's this, if it's not this, I don't know. But certainly, I would love for it to be this particular platform. So we'll see what happens here. Again, it's exciting. It's exciting to say the least. Obviously, I said in my last video, if for anything else, it gives us an opportunity to talk about Drip again, even though this is a totally different protocol, totally different token, totally different team. But gives us an opportunity to kind of re-engage with that community, if anything else, right? So DripX, exciting, very, very exciting stuff to say the least. I will leave a link down below if you want to check this out. Again, you want to create some miners, you need some BNB. And again, the long-term strategy. Now, of course, you might adjust it as you see fit based on what you want to do. You might want to lock in profit right at the gate. That's great. Do it. Do whatever you see. Do whatever works for you. Me, I never try to control people. I never try to tell people do this and do that, because at the end of the day, I don't pay their bills. They got to pay their bills. So they got to do what's right for them, right? And I do what's right for me, right? Because again, at the end of the day, that's how this game works, right? So yeah, the long-term play, you're gonna get you some miners, claim your DripX tokens, take those DripX tokens and stake them for BNB rewards. And once you start getting those BNB rewards, you take a portion of them, whatever percentage you see fit, keep it, lock in your profit, right? And throw some of it back in to get more miners, and you keep that cycle going, right? You keep that cycle going. So buy and burn, everything's looking great. I think there's like, what is this? 3.7 million, $3.7 million worth of BNB. So yeah, things are looking really, really good. So in any case, we'll talk about this more. Just wanted to kind of give you my 2 cents. Again, we're early on this journey, hopefully, right? If assuming this is a long-term protocol, we're very early in this journey. So it's exciting. Anyway, I will leave a link down below. As I said before, follow me on Telegram, subscribe to the channel. It probably makes sense for you to follow them on their Telegram, right? DripX. If you are in the protocol, or if you're looking to get in, so you get information. You get up-to-date information when it comes out. But yeah, we'll give you guys more updates and keep you guys in the loop with our journey with DripX. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.